Hey everybody, my name is Josh and this is the introduction video to Blackberry Ridge. Blackberry Ridge is a family farm, a family homestead, a family ranch, however you want to define it. It's 125 acres and it's on top of Leonard Mountain, and our east boundary borders Big Soma Lake, and so we've got some awesome views being on the mountain. We've got some awesome things planned for the channel. I think what's going to make this channel unique is you're going to get to see us grow from scratch. We are starting literally from scratch. This was a raw piece of property. It was 125 acres, and it's pretty much predominantly wooded. So you're going to see roads being cleared, property lines being cleared, fences put up, barns being built, houses being built, all those really neat things. We'll talk some more about that here in a little bit. Really, the main purpose for this video is to just introduce the channel. This video, the second video, is going to be to kind of give a personal introduction to myself, as well as my family. And I think you'll find that pretty interesting. We're doing these first two videos so that we can tag them to all of our content along the way. You can always go back and reference the first two videos to kind of get to know who we are, get to know what this place is about. So we feel like that's pretty unique in comparison to most other channels. A, you're being here from the genesis, and B, we're starting with the introduction. It seems like a lot of channels just kind of end up happening out of, taking a few random videos and putting them on YouTube. With this one, we are basically starting from day one, and we're going to document that, whether it be for friends or family or however that ends up working. Predominantly, that is who this is for. But like I said, if we get some subscribers along the way and some people that want to follow us, then that is always great too. But our motivation is to just have something to look back on in several years and laugh about, especially this video. I'm sure it's going to be awful. This is my very first YouTube video as well, so I'm sure I'm going to fumble and fall all over myself, and this has already taken several takes, believe it or not, just to get to this point. So I hope that you can laugh with us and enjoy watching the growth in all of us personally, as well as the property as we go. So there are some guidelines and some I believe it or not, I wrote an outline for this channel. I did not want to stand here outside in the wind without a microphone on my camera, without a tripod and all that, and try to describe that to you. So here in a second we're going to cut to some B-roll, which will just be some little bit, just a quick shot of footage as to where maybe you'll see where I'm standing now, and what maybe a little bit has been done thus far. I really want to save that for probably video 3 or 4. But I'm going to go back to my office, sit at my desk, where I can sit and read off of an outline. Obviously, I'm not going to read from a script. I can't stand it when people do that. If I fumble or fall all over myself, you need to be able to laugh about it as well. So stay tuned, enjoy the B-roll, and when you see me again, I will be behind my desk. Okay, and just like that, we are back, back in my home office. For you, it was about 10 seconds. For me, it was about an hour. And so by the time I'm being able to make this video, it's been about an hour. So I'm in my home office. You're probably going to hear the kids slamming doors and screaming, but I've tried to send them outside. It's a really nice day here in Oklahoma. Anyways. So the purpose of this video was to be an introduction to our channel. I've created an outline for that, so just because there's so much content, and that way I can kind of fly through it and not bore you, and hopefully I'm not too repetitive, and hopefully I don't have to do too many takes. This is already, I think, number 4. So here we go. So I introduced myself. You know the channel name, Blackberry Ridge. The purpose. The purpose of this vlog is for the development of the homestead, or the farm, or the ranch, or whatever you want to refer to it as. On this, or what you'll see, some things you'll see will be, we're going to be creating roads. We're going to be fencing the perimeter, and we are also creating a pasture, and we'll be fencing those as well. We'll be creating ponds. We will be cleaning up ponds. We have already started on a little bit of a trail system. You'll see that in upcoming videos. We are going to be building destinations on those trails, being gazebos, places to picnic, places to stop and eat, take pictures, relax. I think my mom wants to build a trapper's cabin, which I think is so much maintenance and work, but to each their own. That's why we have 125 acres. So, and then we are going to be building a paddock for the horses, and you know, you're going to see chicken coops and all that stuff kind of come together out here. The structures, we're actually going to be building several structures on the property. Those will be, we're starting with a barn. We are building a 5,500 square foot barn, and you're going to see a lot of content on that. Literally, I'll go over the barn pad in upcoming videos, which is all we've gotten done to this date. And so you're really going to see that process from day one, which is going to be pretty cool. We're going to be building several loafing sheds for the horses and for the animals out in the pastures and in the paddock. We're going to be building houses for myself to reside in, as well as my parents. And you're going to see building out wood and metal shops. So I'll introduce what I do for a living in the next video, but I have more tools than you can imagine, as well as my dad has more tools than you can imagine. And this barn inside this shop area is going to be, we're going to be combining all of our conglomeration of tools, and so it'll be really interesting to see how we lay all that out and incorporate the best use of space for all of our stuff to come together in there. So it'll be pretty big though, so I'm excited about that, because my garage and my shop at my office, and I have a building out behind my current house in there that I'm ready to just get it all combined and put together. So, and then we'll be building equipment sheds, places to park trailers. We intend on, you know, some pretty cool purchases of equipment that you'll see. So we got to build a place for all that to stay. It'll be like a 3-sided structure, and we'll be doing other things inside of there too as well. So as far as the homesteading aspect, what you're going to see is we're going to be raising meat chickens. We'll be building a portable chicken structures for those. We have seen several YouTube videos on those. We really like the structure from Josh at Stony Ridge Farms. He did a really nice one. We'll be building stuff to mimic kind of some of that stuff, taking some of their ideas as well. Chicken harvesting. I'm not real sure how I feel about how in depth we're going to go on that. But anyways, hatching to table. So we're going to be getting them as eggs, or possibly just chicks. But you're going to be seeing those come from basically raised from A to fork. So that'll be pretty interesting, I think. I hope so. Then we'll be raising laying chickens. You'll be seeing us build the chicken coop. My parents currently have laying chickens in Atlanta, and when they move here, obviously we'll be having some more laying chickens, and it'll be pretty cool to see us build. They've already built one chicken coop there, so they've got, you know, what they do and don't like, and then we'll be taking several other ideas and just incorporating it all into that as well. So you'll be seeing us how we retrieve the eggs, and then also selling the eggs to friends and family. Not really family, of course we wouldn't sell them to family, but
Anyways, then we're going to be raising goats. We want to raise Kiko goats. Daniel at Arms Family Homestead is awesome. Has some really informative, great videos on that. He's a big inspiration for us, and I'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, so we watch him. We'll be building. We want to have roughly 30 Kiko goats. We'll be building a portable goat house for them, because these goats are going to serve another purpose as well. They're also going to help us clean the land up. As I said before, it is really rough. There's briars and all kinds of stuff in all the woods, and we are going to just kind of move them from pen to pen and let them clean up the property as they go. We're going to be putting in some of that premium electric fence for them. That'll be pretty cool to see how we do that, and I'm not really sure. My dad acts like he's got it all figured out, so I'm just going to roll with it. And then we will go from there to milk goats. Now, I am, at this point, really opposed to this. But that's just at this point. I'm sure my mom will talk me into it once she, tells me her logic and all that kind of stuff. I think she wants to make soap with it. And she's been researching a bunch of stuff on how to make, organic soap and out of goat's milk and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm sure that she'll have that figured out and mastered, and it won't be as big of a deal as I think it is. But as of right now, I have no interest in milking goats, but we'll see. Cattle, we want to have 15 to 20 head of cattle. We're creating some pasture area for them. That's really kind of what I'm most excited about, is the cattle, just because I'm really into barbecue and stuff, and I've been wanting to buy my own cattle to slaughter and take to the butcher for a while now. I just have never pulled the trigger, because I get to thinking about, who's finishing them the right way and all that stuff that goes into when you purchase a cattle for slaughter. So we've been doing some research on how to do that, and so we're kind of circumventing that entire process and going to be doing that ourselves. And so I'm really excited about that. So we intend to sell off about 8 to 10 calves every year of that herd, and make some money on the sale of those, as well as slaughter a couple for ourselves. As far as farming goes, my parents grow quite a bit of stuff now with raised beds, or attempt to grow quite a bit of stuff right now with raised beds in Atlanta. They don't really have the best spot to be doing that at, but we will whenever we get this thing up and running here at Blackberry Ridge. And so what we intend to have out there is a little small orchard of some fruit trees. We're going to have raised garden beds containing fruit and veggies. We'll have a greenhouse for wintertime grow and stuff that needs to be inside. And what's going to be kind of cool is my mom's done a bunch of research on the Back to Eden gardening. I've seen several YouTubers, really popular ones, kind of take the same method or a version of that. I think Wrangler Star does a method of that, and my mom, of course, she's done, when she gets into something, she researches it like crazy. So she has all that knowledge ready to be put in place. So I'm excited to get that going. Stables, we are going to have 4 stables up front. We're up front to start, with the potential for up to 10 in our barn. My girls are super excited about that. Pippa is my oldest daughter. She is 5, and I'm going to butcher this, but I think the name of her horse is going to be Color Change Unique Rainbow Color Change Unique Sparkles. So at the next Kentucky Derby, be looking for that one, and if it's there, I would put your entire bank account on that horse. So we want to have 2 horses for our family to have for trail riding and things like that, and then we're possibly going to look into stabling for other people as well. So we'll see how that goes. Other purposes for the channel, really it's, for me, a big one here is a family business. And what I mean by that is something to pass down to my kids. I know that it's important from my parents to be able to pass this on to us. It's really important for me to be able to pass it on to my daughters as well. And it's also a way for me to create a business to help them learn a lot of life lessons, responsibilities, things like that. We're gonna be selling soaps and candles and eggs and beef and goats and fruits and vegetables with custom labeling, and we have some friends in the labeling and canning and jarring business, and so that'll be helpful for us, and just creating those logos and letting my girls be a part of something like that for a job and responsibility, and start to make their own way is something that's important to me, and I'm looking forward to teaching them all the lessons that go with that. So some other stuff that you're going to see us talk about is just kind of some of my general interest, things that I think are fun. You might not think they're fun. I think they're pretty fun. You'll see me talk about, I have a bunch of guns. My dad has a bunch of guns. My brother-in-law is big into guns as well, so you'll see a lot of those. Knife making. My dad wants to start a forge, so that'll be fun, doing all those things. We're going to create a gun range out on our property somewhere, and so building of that and the berms and the stands and all that kind of stuff, it'll just be pretty cool, I think. I hope you do too. Like I said earlier, I mentioned it earlier, I love to barbecue and cook and stuff, and so as we're building everything out there, we'll be building an outdoor kitchen. We'll be building our personal kitchen, my parents' kitchen, so you'll see some really cool stuff, I think, whenever it comes to that. Like I said earlier, I have a ton of tools. My dad has a ton of tools. I'm into guns, and so we've got tools, gear, and equipment like crazy. Equipment being Polaris Rangers, trucks. We're going to be buying tractors. We're going to be buying maybe some dozers, maybe a track loader. It's just going to be a dump truck. We're trailers. We'll just have some really cool stuff, and I think it'll be fun to watch everything that goes into this homestead, including all of that equipment. I'm pretty big into hunting. Been hunting my whole life. My dad got me started quail hunting probably first. He bought me a single shot 410, and it just kind of went from there. Deer hunting, bird hunting. We kind of do it all. We'll be deer hunting out here. We'll be bird hunting out here. We've talked about hatching some quail. Dogs. We're a family of dog lovers. We've only got one dog right now, which is kind of weird for us, but my parents have 3 dogs, and my brother and sister-in-law have a dog, and so you're going to be seeing my dog a lot. His name is Duke, and we'll introduce him in the next video. I'm sure you probably saw him running around earlier in the on location, or you saw him in the time lapse, but it'll be cool to see him and meet him. We'll probably be briefly be talking about some kind of last but not least religious stuff, and everything that goes into that. Our beliefs are a little bit different than some maybe might believe, but I think we'll be explaining that as we go, and I don't want to throw that too much in your face, but we definitely want to make it at the forefront and allow you to see that it's important to us. So let's see here, some kind of guidelines for the channel. I think hopefully you've kind of portrayed by now. If you haven't, let me just say it. I hope you don't take us serious or too serious. There's going to be a lot of cutting up. Sarcasm is pretty thick in my family, and I think you'll see that. We're all just a bunch of none of us takes the other one very seriously at all. So I think just the family banter you'll find amusing. We're lighthearted. I want this channel to be lighthearted. I don't want it to be crazy serious. We do not know it all. We know that we don't know it all. None of us have ever started a homestead. My parents have done some gardening. They're not just, the world's foremost experts on that. My dad has been around some horses growing up, but really he's never owned cattle. He's never worked on a ranch. We've never slaughtered chickens personally. We've never done those things. So you're going to be seeing us do those things for the first time from day one. And so I think that's going to be pretty funny and pretty cool as well. We are we are definitely novices when it comes to this. So when we make videos, it'll be to help educate, because we're educating ourselves as well. And hopefully it'll help others. But it's also, if we see us doing something, we could be doing it better. Just slap it in the comments, and we'll be glad to learn from you as well. I mean, that would be actually pretty great. So we want this to be a positive channel. We want to affect people for the better. I do not want to deal with the haters. In fact, I'm not going to deal with the haters. I will not engage in negative debate on the comments. I will urge anybody else who is involved in this channel to not engage in that stuff in the comments. I just don't want I just don't want to get in the weeds. I mean, I don't want to have to turn the comments off. We want this to be positive. We want everybody to be respectful. We want to spread the good word. We want to spread the good news, and we want to do that on our channel in our own way, and hopefully everybody can respect that. We want to make you laugh. We want to entertain you, but ultimately, like I said in the beginning, this is kind of for family and friends. So if nothing else, they can look back on times that they get together with family, Christmas, things like that, watch some of these videos, laugh at me, laugh at themselves, and just be able to cherish that all these videos and everything that comes with them. I'm gonna be as responsive as I can be to stuff. I have 2 small kids. I have a full-time job. I own my own business, which makes that full-time job a full-time job. We're as busy as we've ever been at the time of making this, and life gets in the way. So if you comment on stuff and if I don't respond or anything like that, it's not because I'm ignoring it. It's not because I don't want to. It's just because I haven't had time to yet. So be patient with me. Don't get mad at me. We'll do our best to be as responsive as possible. I don't want this. The intent of this is not to be a full-time job. So I'm not going to be a full-time YouTube creator. I can't fathom that ever being the case. And so I will always have a full-time job, and so if you can just bear with me whenever you comment or ask a question, I will get back to you. It just may not be as fast as you like it, so but I will be as responsive as I can possibly be. The structure of the channel, you won't be able to tell it by this video because it is going to be lengthy. Hopefully not as lengthy as what I anticipated, but the point of this channel is to not ramble. We're going to try to do 5 to 10 minute videos, get them over with, get them out, get them brief, concise, to the point, move along and try to be as focused on what it is we're shooting that day. I'm going to try not to talk for 10 minutes, then show what we're doing, and then have some ramble on and on and on about some other subjects. So focus is going to be a key for us on this channel. We're going to try to show plenty of good camera work, even though we're not right now. I'm filming this with a kind of a do-it-all camera with no microphone, without a tripod. But hopefully over time we'll be able to develop better equipment and be able to do it, because I know I appreciate good quality whenever I watch the YouTube videos, and so that's something that's important to us that we put into our channel as well. We're going to attempt to try to do content as often as possible. My goal is every Saturday shoot a film, but we'll see how that goes. We want to be as relevant as possible. We want to stay in our lane. We want to make this channel pretty much about what I've discussed. If I get outside of that, it won't be for long. And we want to be up to date. We want to show you as much progress as often as possible. You know, from there, channel inspirations. The main homestead world is where I would say this channel would be inspired the most from. I can tell you, I have spoken with a couple of channels already. A fellow Oklahoman, Daniel at Arms Family Homestead, has been awesome. He is amazing in response time. I don't know how he does it. I think he's a highway patrolman as well, so I know that the guy's busy, but he has been very responsive to the questions I've had. I've never done YouTube before, so I've just had some generalized questions, and he has just like that responded, so I greatly appreciate that. Josh at Stony Ridge Farm has been in contact with me, which is really cool. I'm not sure where he's from, Carolinas or Virginia, something like that, Tennessee maybe, but his channel is really awesome. He's got some really good stuff as well, and he's entertaining, and so we really like watching him. Outdoors with the Morgans, they've got some pretty cool stuff. We like watching them with the firewood, and he's got some pretty neat toys as well, so he's fun to watch. Wrangler Star, that guy's probably been the one that's been doing it the longest. He's just got a ton of content, ton of videos. I think he is a full-time YouTube creator, so it's interesting to watch him. And then another Oklahoman, Keeping It Dutch. Haven't been able to talk to Wrangler Star, Morgans, or Keeping It Dutch yet, but hopefully I can soon. As far as other channel sponsors, I'm in the home building industry, so there's some guys there. Barbecue, Cosmos Q, All Things Barbecue, How to Barbecue Right. Matt Reisinger with The Build Show. He's got an awesome channel, really informative. If you're into construction, you should check him out. I met with him in Austin, Texas a couple years ago. Great guy. Essential Craftsman, he's another guy who's into wood and metal. And then there's just a ton of gun channels that we like. Kind of in closing, I appreciate the views, the comments, the likes, the subscribes. I say all that. I'm not real sure how all that works yet, but if you're watching this, I appreciate it. And just to reiterate, as stated before, but just to reiterate the fact that, you know, the purpose of this is, you know, I just hope that it'll be something that my kids, my grandkids, family, grandparents, parents, all that can watch someday, look back on this someday and laugh and appreciate all of this for just whatever it ends up being. And I look forward to making the second video, which will be the introduction to myself and my family. And with that said, I guess I'll see you next time up on the ridge.